Hello, welcome to another episode of Fascia-Forward Fitness. Today we are working on a mobile strength workout. Let's start with the warm-up, standing on your mat, feet hip width apart, and we're just gonna reach side to side. You don't have to go very deep. Reach the fingertips toward the knees. Start to feel where the muscles attach to the hips. We wanna warm up all the joints so that we can have a great range of motion through our strength workout. Very good. Let's put our wrists out here. Pretend that you have a rubber band around your wrists, and we're going to bring the wrists in and out, so palms will be up. And now top of the hand up. Keep the wrists together. Flow through that a few times. Warm up the wrists. Very nice. Okay, we're gonna do a little mini hip hinge, push the hips back, maybe just slide the hands down, knee height, straight back up, reach hands up, and a mini back bend with some cactus arms. Hands up, down, little hip hinge, a little deeper if it feels okay. Reach up, and a mini back bend with some cactus arms. One more time. Slide the hands down the thighs, back up, reach, mini back bend. And of course, breathing the whole time that we are doing this. Very good. We're going to work on scapular movement, okay? We are going to just leave our hands hanging at our sides, okay? And a lot of times you'll see a warm-up while they do shoulder circles. We're gonna try to move in a square so that it's a little more precise, okay? So we're gonna lift, take the shoulder blades back and together, go down and forward. So it's a 4-count movement. Elevate, squeeze shoulder blades together, lower the hands with those shoulder blades back, and now let it come back forward. So lift, squeeze, lower, forward. Lift, squeeze, lower, forward. Do a couple of more times this direction, really exaggerating each of those 4 movements, 4 distinct movements. And now let's try to move in a reverse direction. So back, up, forward, and down. Squeeze together, lift, forward, and down. Very good. All right, we're gonna try that same movement with just a little bit of resistance. You could grab super light dumbbells, 1s or 2s. I have some water bottles here. Soup can, shampoo bottles. Okay, try that same thing just with a little bit of resistance. So lift, squeeze, lower, and forward, and you can try to reverse that movement. It's not very much resistance, but it will add just a little bit of work for you, okay? So we can set those down. And one more way to do that same movement would be just to hold anything light out in front of you. I have a nice beach ball here. It's the same movement. Our arms are just in a different position. So we're going to squeeze up, lift up, squeeze back, lower, and forward. And it just gives you a little different feel because your arms are in a different position. Elevate the shoulders, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lower them down, bring them back forward. So you're moving from your scapula, okay, squeeze together, lift up, bring it forward and down, okay? So just holding that ball out front gives you a little different feel in the scapula, but it all initiates from that same spot. Very good. So that really warms up the shoulders for some movements we're going to make later in the workout. Now let's work on a little foot and ankle mobility. So let's start seated, and you can move to standing. Okay, so we're gonna really work on some squat movements, but focus on the feet, okay? So from seated, we're going to stand, and I want you to come all the way up on the toes, come back down on the heels, sit back into the chair, flex the toes back towards your shins. So stand up to the toes, back to the heels, sit back in the chair, flex. One more time. Pause anywhere that you need to spend an extra bit of time. And let's finish up here on the toes. Very good. Okay, and you can just kind of circle the ankles out a little bit. Very good. All right, let's go step ups. Make sure your step stool's somewhere where it's not gonna slide, okay? So same thing, we're gonna step up, focus on where the weight is in the foot. So step up, right here. We've done these before in previous workouts. And when you step up, shift the weight forward, come all the way up. When you step down, toes down first, then shift the weight back, okay? So just a few of these. Alternate which foot leads up first. And this is more to focus on the full range of motion of your joints. We're going to do some pushing and pulling today. And it will be important to have a full range of motion through all of our joints, ankles, knees, hips, shoulders. You have more strength if you have a larger range of motion. If you can access your whole range of motion, you'll be able to move more weight more easily, okay? Very good. Let's begin with some beach ball squats or whatever you have. Maybe a lightly weighted ball or a dumbbell if you'd like, but we are going to do squats here and reach overhead, okay? So work on your squat depth as you progress through just a few reps, whatever feels comfortable for you today. As you do more reps, your body will become a little looser and perhaps you can get a little more depth. One more time. Very good. All right. Excellent. So let's begin today with some shoulder shrugs and some grip strength. We can do this with a couple of different things. You can use dumbbells. You could use water jugs, heavier jugs, shopping bags, gym bags, whatever. And you're going to be able to move a fair amount of weight here. So filled water jugs are okay. You could even go heavier than that, but we're just gonna work a shoulder shrug up and down and work a full range of motion, okay? When you're up there, hold it, lower slowly. Make sure you're not bending forward. So shrug and hold, bring it down, shrug and hold, bring it down. Very good. Around 10 of those. And if it's too easy, you could grab something heavier. If it's too hard, do a few less reps or get something a little bit lighter, pour a little water out, okay? We're going to now grip this. You may hold these, again, or if you have dumbbells, hold the heads of the dumbbells and keep them at your side to work on the grip strength, okay? Now, as we do this, we're gonna try to grip very tightly and let's just walk back and forth. If you can walk holding this grip without losing your posture for about 30 seconds, depending on how long your room is that you're working in, or you can just take one straight walk, okay? Hold this grip. This handle is, as you can see, pretty small. If you would rather grab something with a wider base, on the next couple of reps, you can do that as well. See what you have around your house, see what kind of equipment you have. Different widths to grip will work your hand in a different way, but it's an excellent way to work grip strength, okay? So let's try that again. Maybe heavier, maybe a wider grip, whatever you want. We're going to do our shrugs. Inhale up. Exhale down. Try not to let the shoulders round forward. Very good. And on the last rep, grip very, very tightly, and we will go on our 30-second walk-ish, okay? And just grip as tightly as you can. Very good. And we will set our water jugs, milk jugs, whatever you have down, okay? Now we're going to work one arm at a time. We're gonna work that grip again. Again, you can use a variety of different objects for this. Just wanna work one arm at a time. We're gonna invert it, hold it upward here, okay? Grip tightly, and you can do your walk back and forth, or you can just stand, okay? If it's too much to hold it here and you don't feel steady for a long time, you can do it reps at a time, 3 or 4 or 5 reps. Bring it up, grip it and hold it, bring it down to rest if you'd like. It's more difficult to hold it and more difficult to hold it and move at the same time. So see where you are and judge from there, okay? This isn't terribly heavy, so you could go a little heavier dumbbell, maybe even a 10-pound dumbbell, okay? Hold it for as long as you feel like you can here. And again, move side to side, back and forth. You could even do some squats, okay? Holding it here. And again, grip strength does take some shoulder strength, but really working on that grip strength, okay? Very good. All right, let's take those same bottles and we're gonna work some raised lunges, okay? So, again, hold these and we're just gonna push off, whole foot on the bench, and you're holding dumbbells, bottles, jugs, shopping bags, suitcases, whatever you have, okay? And you're really sinking into that front leg and a nice strong push off on your way back. And this is going to prepare us for some pushing and pulling we'll do here in a few minutes. Very good. And if you would like to do a set without, you may. If you would like to switch off between sets, also a good idea. So this is a narrower handle, different type of grip, okay? If you really want to make this more difficult, you could invert these. And since this is liquid, it really makes for an unsteady movement, and you really have to work to control that, which is excellent. Very good. Take some core stability as well, or you can hold them at the side, or you can set them down. Very good. And liquid is a great thing to work with because you really have to fight to balance. So I do recommend that. Sand, gravel, whatever else you might want to put in your jugs, okay? All right. We are going to work on some pushing and pulling movements. So you need some floor, okay? Not carpeted. Put whatever weighted objects you have right here. And this is where those step-ups, those lunges, the movements in our joints are really gonna pay off. They're nice and warm now, okay? We're going to put our hands down, legs behind, and we are going to push this across the floor. And do my legs look very much like they did on the elevated lunges? Yes, they do, okay? Full extension there, push and pull with the feet, okay? Now, we are going to put the jugs there. A nice long beach towel here is pretty great. This is gonna work grip strength and some glutes. Make sure here we are not rounded over, but we're gonna do a little half squat. Stabilize those shoulders. Now we know about scapular movement, right? Stabilize, and we're gonna move backwards. And toes are gonna hit first, then heel, toes and heel, okay? And you will be able to push and pull quite a lot of weight. This is not terribly heavy. Start with something light. Work your way up over the weeks as you become more efficient at this. Okay, and one more time. And fully extend those legs, really push through the whole range of motion. My legs totally bent, totally straight, getting a lot of power out of the legs. Stabilize the shoulders. If you want to make this a little more difficult, you could do one arm at a time and stabilize. Many options here. Very good. And just a simple but difficult at home push and pull exercise. Good job on that. Okay, we are going to work on some pulling. If you have a band at home, you could wrap it around a doorknob, a post in your basement, or you could have a friend come hold it for you, okay, in the middle. And I'm gonna do a little half squat here. And I'm just gonna pull, and I'm making that same movement we did with the scapula in the beginning, really squeezing the shoulder blades together. So pull, hold, squeeze the shoulder blades, and back, okay? And again, this is something you can do quite a lot of resistance with, or you could do a little bit lighter resistance and do more reps, okay? Very good. And you're in this nice half squat position. We're not rounded in the back. Very good. And nice, okay? Can do a couple of sets of those. The pause, very important, and squeezing those shoulder blades together, very important, but try not to let the shoulders elevate. Good, okay, let's use our partner again. And this works grip and strength. So I have this nice fat beach towel, and Amy's gonna hold the middle. This is a lot to grip, which is great for my hand strength. Okay, so I'm gonna get a nice good grip on this towel. I'm gonna lean back. She's also going to be working. So I'm gonna lean back and hang on. So most of the weight's in my heels. I'm gripping here. I'm trying to pull the towel away, but mostly I'm trying to just lean back and hang on for dear life here with the towel. If you could sit here for 30 to 45 seconds with a grip, that would be fantastic, okay? And do a couple of sets of those. If you have a pull-up bar in your home, you could also put the towel over the pull-up bar and hang by the grip here. So if you would drape it on the pull-up bar, grab the handles down here and hang, also a great way to do that. So have your partner really work about as hard as you are. And Amy can pull back on me pretty hard, try to pull me forward, and I'm trying to pull back. Very good. Also an awesome stretch for hips. Fantastic. So multi-layered exercise there. And again, just a beach towel, so good for your grip, which is super important for us. Okay, let's go into just a chest press with either dumbbells, or I'm gonna use my water bottles today. You could do this on an exercise ball or on the floor. We have done some pulling, okay? So now we'd wanna do some pushing. All right, so we're just gonna bring elbow. The nice thing about doing this on the floor is your elbows are not going to go too deep because they have to stop at the floor, obviously, okay? So again, dumbbells if you have them. If not, household items will do the trick, okay? You don't have to have very much equipment to get a good workout. So that's never an obstacle or an excuse. I don't have the equipment. It costs too much to buy everything. There are lots of things that you have just lying around the kitchen or the house, okay? Very good. All right, we can do a couple of sets of those and just nice controlled movement. Again, we want to do opposing movements. So we did some pulling with the towel grip we just did, or with the band row we just did, and now we're doing the opposite motion. And your body loves to be strengthened in those opposing fields. Very good. Okay, let's grab a couple of smaller towels, okay? Little dish towels or hand towels, and we're gonna create our own resistance here, our own pushing and pulling, our own sliding, okay? So I want one towel under your right hand and one towel under your left toes. We're gonna extend and slide right hand, left foot. Both are still in contact with the floor. Then we're going to raise up into a nice long bird dog stretch. Hold it for about 10 seconds. Lower back down to your towels and bring it back to starting position, okay? And the harder you press in, you create your own resistance. Lift and hold. Lower, press in and slide back. Let's do about 5 on each side. Very good. Slide it back in. And the harder you press in, the more resistance you're creating. So you get to be in control of how much that resistance is. One more. Nice long movements. Make sure your neck's in alignment with your spine. And let's switch sides. I'm going to go to the side this time so that you can see the alignment. And I'll just go off on the side here. So towel under right toes and left hand, okay? So extend and press, lift and hold, breathe, neck's in alignment with the spine, lower, slide back to start. Slide, lift, lower, slide. 3 more times. Very good. Breathe. Very nice. Once more. And great. We're going to stay down on our mat. We're going to keep the towels. We'll do a little core work. Come all the way down on your bellies. All right. We're going to do some Superwoman exercises. Okay. So first we'll just be flying This is fly. This is Y. This is W. Hands by the side is I. Okay? So, 2 ways to do this. 3, actually. You can have your feet lifted off the floor or not. If that's too much pressure on the lower back and your abdominals are not quite ready for that extra challenge, you may leave your feet on the ground, okay? And you may or may not use the towels for resistance. I will start with the towels. So we're gonna fly, reach out, Y, W, I. So slide to W, slide to Y, slide to fly, and back out again. Slide to Y, slide to W, slide to I. I'm lifting my toes this time. W, Y, chest is lifted, fly. One more time. And just this extra resistance creates a lot more work for the core. And back down. So options there are towels for resistance or not, feet lifted up or down. Do lift the chest up. So you're gonna feel that in the core. If you start to feel it in the lower back, then lower the feet, okay? Very good. So those are some great resistance exercises you can do with your hand towels. The last one we will do is going to be mountain climbers. So we're going to put toes on the towels. We're gonna hold a nice plank position with wrists right underneath the shoulders, okay? And we're just gonna slide in and back. And it's like you're climbing a snowy little mountain here, okay? You don't need to go quickly. In fact, a nice little pause at the end of each movement is great. This is much like, I'm gonna turn this direction so you can see, when we were pushing our resistance across the floor. So the full extension of the leg, pushing back. If you'd like to go quicker, you can. Just don't lose the control and lose your range of motion and go here. The bigger your range of motion, the better. So faster is not always better, okay? Very good. All right, those are the exercises for today. You may add more reps, go for a longer duration. Goal being, as you go through this video several times, you'll be able to progress and decide what you want to do more of or add more resistance to, okay? All right, so cool down will be on all fours first. Let's do some circles with the hips. Take your time. Go all the way to one side, then forward, then slide over, then back. Try to increase how big that circle is. And reverse directions. Very good. A lot of hip work with the pushing of the resistance. Very good. All right, nice. Okay, as long as we're here, let's take one arm, thread it underneath the other, lay on that shoulder, take the hips back, reach opposite arm forward, and get a nice shoulder stretch here. Deep breath. Spend some time there and thread the needle on the other side, lay back. So I hope these were all great at-home exercises for you. You can do these in your kitchen. You could spray a little cleaner on the towels, clean your floor all at the same time. Not a bad idea. Very good. Okay, let's bring it back. And let's take our right leg straight up. You don't have to be completely locked out here, but pull back. Feel a nice hamstring stretch. So the mobility of all of our joints, so important. So strength is important, but if your joints don't have the ability to move through their full range of motion, you can't really express that strength properly. And that's kind of what today's workout is all about, very functional, okay? Switch legs, hamstring. So even pushing that weight across the floor, if your ankles are not very mobile, you're gonna have a hard time extending the leg. If your hips are tight, you're gonna have a hard time getting very low to get your weight behind the resistance to push. And if your shoulders are not mobile, you're not able to stay stable and strong to push that resistance. Very good, okay. Let's bring both knees in, give them a big hug. Big hug. And then fully extend. So this last movement, the knee hug and the full extension, is very much what we want our body to do. We want to be able to bend and move every joint, gather some strength, and then we want to be able to extend that body. So we need the joints very mobile. Very good. Deep breaths. And if you have time, you could spend a few minutes after this video lying here and just relaxing, meditating. So thank you for joining us today. Hopefully that was a very practical guide for an at-home workout, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Pull both knees in as far as you can. Extend overhead. And again, remember, that's where our power comes from. Big movements in joints, being able to extend fully while pushing or pulling resistance is what makes you powerful. Very good. Let's stretch hamstrings, one leg up. And little ankle rotation. And let's switch. So keep those joints mobile, then make them strong. Then you've got something great going on. Great job. One more time, we're gonna pull the knees in. Congrats to you on taking a few minutes to do something really, really good for you. Reach overhead, and you can do it all in the comfort of your own home. All right, very good. Thank you for joining us for another video, and we will see you soon. Thank you.